Hey everyone, let's jump right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to completely unpack the ultimate blueprint for your body's machine. We'll be looking really closely at how everything from proteins to just plain water keeps you running at absolute peak performance. To kick things off, think back to the very last thing you ate. I mean, it wasn't just to stop your stomach from growling, right? The truth is, food is literally the ultimate fuel system for our bodies. We eat to generate energy, to constantly repair worn-out cells, and to empower our immune systems to actually fight off germs. But, how exactly does food pull all of that off? Well, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover fueling your body, protectors and helpers, building a balanced diet, the risks of junk food, deficiencies in food safety, and finally, wrap up with some actionable steps to eat smart. All right, part one, fueling your body. This is the absolute foundation of your machine. To understand how our food does all this heavy lifting, we first have to talk about these tiny microscopic powerhouses called nutrients. These are the true behind-the-scenes workers making absolutely sure your body has the raw materials it needs to grow, repair itself, and just keep you going. It helps to think of the big three macronutrients in two totally separate camps. On one side, you've got your primary energy providers. This means carbohydrates, which give us simple sugars from things like bananas, or complex starches from grains and potatoes. It also includes fats from butter, ghee, and nuts, which give us even more energy, though obviously we've got to be careful not to overdo those. Now, on the other side, we have your bodybuilders, the proteins. Found in milk, eggs, meat, fish, and pulses, these are what physically step in to repair your cells and help you grow. Moving right along to part two, protectors and helpers. These are your micro-shields. These microshields are basically your frontline defenders. We're talking about vitamins A through K actively fighting off diseases, while minerals step in to make sure our organs are functioning properly. You'll find a ton of these in fruits, veggies, and milk. But please do not overlook the bottom two on this list: water and roughage. Roughage, which is just fiber from plants, is absolutely critical because it keeps your digestive tract moving smoothly and prevents constipation. And hey, speaking of unsung heroes, 6 to 8. That is the exact number of glasses of water you need to be aiming for every single day. There's just no way around it. Without that water, your body literally cannot regulate its temperature or flush out the waste it doesn't need. Okay, part three, building a balanced diet. Let's look at the actual blueprint. To stay in peak condition, you really need to hit a very specific balance. Because a balanced diet isn't just about randomly eating healthy foods. It's about getting the exact right ratio of your energy providers, your protectors, and your builders, completely backed up by plenty of water and fiber. The absolute easiest way to visualize this balanced blueprint is by thinking of the classic food pyramid and building it from the bottom up. Start by maximizing your foundation, filling up on plenty of whole grains. Then, in the middle, you balance things out with really generous portions of fruits, vegetables, and proteins. But the catch is, you have to actively minimize the top, eating way less of those sweets and heavy oils. But here's the kicker. Your personal pyramid is entirely unique to you. I mean, a young, super active athlete is naturally going to need way more energy-giving carbs than someone who is, say, working a desk job all day. You've got to tailor this blueprint to your actual daily life. Which brings us to part four, the risks of junk food, or as I like to call them, system failures. Look, we all know the temptation of junk food, but this dietary trap is packed so heavily with salt, sugar, and fat, and it contains practically zero actual nutrients or fiber. When your body tries to run on this kind of fuel, the end result is almost always you feeling constantly exhausted and gaining excess weight. And the long-term consequences of that junk food, they're pretty severe. Relying heavily on nutrient-poor foods drastically spikes your risk for lifestyle diseases. We're talking about severe, non-communicable conditions like obesity, diabetes, which is excess blood sugar, and high blood pressure. These can completely derail your long-term health, and the crazy part is, they are largely driven by poor dietary choices. All right, part five, deficiencies and food safety. This is all about actively guarding your health. Because what happens when you miss out on those proper micro-shields? Well, your body's defense systems literally start shutting down, triggering specific deficiency diseases. For example, if you lack vitamin A, it actually damages your vision, causing night blindness and low light. Or if you're lacking iron, it leads to anemia, which just leaves you feeling completely wiped out and fatigued all the time. But hey, here's a really cool fact straight from the source data. Did you know you can help fight off that constant exhaustion from anemia just by eating mangoes? Yeah, Eating them regularly during the summer gives your body a massive, delicious iron boost. Now, even if you are actively trying to choose the right foods, you've still got to watch out for food adulteration. This is a super deceptive practice where suppliers secretly mix low-quality substances into your food. Think things like putting cheap starch into paneer to bulk it up or watering down honey. It's incredibly sneaky, and it's exactly why you absolutely must buy from trusted sources to protect yourself. And finally, Part 6, Steps to Eat Smart. Let's look at your daily maintenance guide. Let's put all this knowledge into practice with 4 quick, actionable steps you can take today to optimize your body's machine. Step 1, ditch the deep-fried snacks and swap them for fresh fruits, salads, and nutrient-rich sprouts. Step 2, introduce some fermented foods like curd or idli to actively boost your digestion. Step 3, consciously cut back on your added sugar and salt. And Step 4, remember that food is just one part of the whole shebang. You've got to exercise, limit that screen time, and get 7 to 8 hours of sleep so your body can actually process that fuel efficiently. So I want to leave you with this one provocative thought to consider for your very next meal. Your health is quite literally sitting right there on your plate. Eating smart is the absolute first step to living healthy. Based on everything we just broke down, what is one single swap you are going to make today? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Make every single bite count and keep learning.